Hi, my name is Helen. Welcome to my art room, where I would like to share with you what has inspired my images and creative writing. I've been on an exciting journey exploring archaeological sites, myths and folklore, and this is an ancient history of art centered on women for people who are intrigued by transformative fables and would like to translate them into modern myths to inspire the future.
Percy very kindly bought the newlywed frog and hedgehog a bottle of Bollinger, and by default the evening's entertainment, since the uncorking of the bottle proved quite a how-do-you-do. Diesel lent his dog lead, with which a harness was fashioned to hold the bottle. So on one side Aloysius held the cork firmly in his teeth, while on the bottom side of the bottle the rest of the sheep formed an orderly queue to pull on the lead, rather like in a tug of war. Meanwhile, the Ragondin relations balanced a large basin on their heads underneath the bottle, so when the champagne gushed forth, none would be wasted. With the whole bum-out, heel-digging and side-to-side shifting of the basin shenanigans refereed by Diesel's barking. As it turned out, one bottle of champagne was more than enough for everyone when you consider it was served in acorn cups. And the feasting and merriment continued well into the small hours, with revellers lying on their backs in the meadow grasses, reporting later that they saw fairy lights in the sky, and then finally falling asleep under the stars. Shortly after their marriage, the frog and hedgehog started a family. So we now have the curious situation of some of their children being frogs and some hedgehogs. On the QT, Cecile is secretly very pleased that the frog and hedgehog have settled to their new lives because, well, quite frankly, she hasn't a clue how to turn them back into Ragondin. She also believes that the children are all Ragondin under her spell too. So as soon as she finds her spectacle, she can get on with some research and then hopefully change them all back into their natural shape. The baby frogs and hedgehogs grew fast and started school, being taught history by the peahen. And one day they came home to ask their parents who was going to inherit the golden crown and the lacy feathered cap. Some of the frogs wanted the cap and some of the hedgehogs wanted the crown, and this turned into a raucous biff-about argument. Oh dear. Another consultation between Henri and Cecile was in order. We could ask Selma to find some thin metal at a brocante to fashion into little crowns, and Natty could paint them with gold nail varnish, suggested Cecile. A means to conjure real gold crowns wasn't in her notebook either. I suppose we must ask Stephanie for lace to make the caps rather than sneak strips from her cupboard. Henri gave Cecile a sideways arched look. And then the children must be firmly told to wait until the peahen and peacock molt and not chase after them to pull feathers out of their bums. Yes, cried Mrs. Hedgehog, these suggestions coming into her mind, and she clapped her hands. "We can ask everyone to help." "Well, if you do," giggled the frog, adjusting his crown, "the children will need to realise any help from Scotman Jerry will result in crowns and feathered caps featuring red tartan." Very snazzy.